Okay, we're holding Daf Kohem at base.
Okay.
The last line of the small lines.
Kuf Hey Amud Bet.
We're talking about the Nikila Sudan, right?
Yeah. So last week we started the Gemara about Ma'am Achronim. We said the Ma'am Achronim Choyva. Why? Because there's a Melach's Noimus, that it's dangerous for the eyes. Interesting. The Alter Rebbe brings that there really is two reasons. There really is two reasons why we do Ma'am Achronim. And there's Rabbi Yochanan holds that way, the Rambam maybe holds that way.
Mentioned the Rambam is Yosef.
Right. That there's two reasons. Number one reason is because a person's hands have to be clean when they do Bechas Hamazon. Because dirty hands are not shouldn't be for a bracha.
Like a coin and walk.
Like a coin that goes in the base of Mikdash. Very good. Yeah. Coin goes to the base of Mikdash as avodah is to wash his hands. A Yid is going to give a bench, thank the Eibishter, so he has to wash his hands. Second reason is because Malach Sadoimus. The Alter Rebbe says the first reason makes it a mitzvah. Second reason makes it a choiva. If it was only the first reason, so if a person is in war, if there's an army, they're potter. But it's the second reason, it's a sakona, also when they're in war, they have to do it.
You know, Sfaradim, before they do Ma'am Achronim, they said Ma'am Achronim Chobah.
Yeah.
Before we do what it said, Ma'am Achronim Chobah.
Right. So choiva is extra thing, because it's sakona.
What's the sakana again?
Because of the Melech Sadoimus,
Right.
You might touch your
they
eyes.
might touch his eyes, and Chas v'Shalom, they can blind the eyes.
Okay. And what's the connection with Sodom? Because of the,
I don't know, there may be some heavenly connection, esoteric connection.
Because Lord's wife, she became.
Yeah, maybe very good. If a good I like your pshat.
Yeah.
Because she became melech.
So she was a tzor ayin. She was a tzor ayin.
And you might touch the melech that in the eyes. So
Yeah, she was a tzor ayin. She had a bad eye for the orchim.
Bad eye
like
for
your
what?
pshat. She had a bad eye for guest.
Ah.
But
she
she had
said my husband give her salt to the
Right. And it turned into. Yeah.
She had a bad eye for guests. So she
Yes.
turned into a pillar of salt.
Yeah.
So if this the salt touches the eye, it's dangerous for the eye.
Yeah.
That was her problem. She looked at the guest with the left eye,
Bad eye.
the bad eye. Okay.
Sorry, is like a
With the small eye.
small. Yeah.
You really want that? So okay, nice shot.
Yeah.
You have to remember that in the olden time, they used to eat with the fingers. There was no
Right.
spoon,
Right.
fork, knife. So you did touch salt while you.
Right. So therefore, there was.
Watch
So
your
again, so the first reason is the hand should be clean for the baracha. The second reason is for melas
What's the
doimus.
mitzvah?
The first is a mitzvah, the second is a choiva. Now, bisman hazeh we don't have
Melech Zayim.
melas doimus, but there's still the first reason that the hands have to be clean. So why don't we make a bracha? The Alter Rebbe says the reason we don't make a bracha is because the Gemara says "V'ist kadishtem elo mayim achronim, v'yisem kedoshim elo mayim achronim." That was the last line in the 8th Perek in the Gemara brachas. You remember we did. Elo mayim achronim, v'ist kadishtem elo mayim rishonim, v'yisem kedoshim mayim achronim. Kekodashoni is a shem and toiv. That after you wash
Yeah.
the mayim achronim, they used to take oil, which is special oil, shemen hafarisman, and they used to go like this. They rub it onto their hands.
So what was the
Clean.
what?
Nice. It's good. Makes the hands really clean and really sanitized.
Women put cream.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
cream. So put cream for what?
Same, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So Alter Rebbe says because we don't have the Shem and Orev, so therefore we don't make the bracha. Theoretically, if we had the Shem and Orev, we would make a bracha. Okay.
Shem Orev is with an olive?
With the ayin.
Ayin.
Sweet, that sweet oil.
Ah, okay.
Kolech Arev.
Okay. So again, we have two reasons. We have the reason of the hands have to be clean for benching.
Right.
Second reason that the Zemelach Sdoim is dangerous for the eye. And we don't have really both reasons. We have the first reason, the hands should be clean, but the problem is that we don't have the Shem and Orev. Had we had the Shem and Orev, you'd make a bracha.
Which more said that the story with the person that did not make Maimachonim and he lost his money and his wife killed him because he killed his wife.
He killed his wife. This is argument. It's going to get soon. We'll get there, yeah. We're going to get there soon. So it's a Gemara Yuma and also the Gemara here. The Gemara tells it more about Protus and Yuma, and the Gemara mentions it here. So, okay. Now,
No, so
what is
over there the Gemara says you have to do Maimachonim because just to clean up your this, not as a mitzvah, not as a favor.
right.
Two reasons.
Another reason, yeah. With Nikias, if he had cleaned his hands and his mouth with Koved Eibishter,
Then he wouldn't have this
then
problem.
he wouldn't have any problems. Okay. Now, Ma'amar Rishonim. So the same thing that Rashba says, that there is two reasons. One reason is because the hands should be clean before you make the bracha. The hands should be clean. Second reason is because of the Sarach Truma, because of the issue of Truma. Two reasons.
He didn't eat Truma Betawa.
Right, it should be because of Truma. So he says, but both reasons are Negeya. He says, but the first reason is only for the person that makes a bracha. Only for the person that makes the bracha is that it has to be clean. The other people that are listening, they don't have to make the wash their hands.
Right.
The reason the other people have to wash their hands is because of Truma. But the person that making the bracha, he has another reason. Two reasons. One is because the hands has to be clean when he makes the bracha. And number two, because of Truma.
It's like when he daven and he's standing in the front of Hashem, he has to be nice and clean.
Mm.
Wash. The same thing, you make a bracha, you have to be nice and clean.
Exactly. Very good. Very good. We're holding Gemara Daf Kufheya Mid Beis. The last one of the small lines. And we're still in the introduction. Okay, so let's summarize. So that Rashba holds that there is two reasons for doing Netilas Yadayim. One is the person who makes the bracha should have clean hands. Second, because of the Truma. But if it was only the first reason, then we would say only the person who makes the bracha. And therefore we want everyone to wash, so we say because of Truma. Okay. I want to ask you a simple question now. According to the Rashba, if I'm going to make hamoitzi lechem in Oretz, yeah, and I'm going to eat less than a kabetza, should I make a bracha on Netilas Yadayim or not? According to the Rashba, not according to what we learned last week. Yeah, my hands have to be clean for the bracha. Because he says there's another reason, not only because of Truma. He says any person that makes a bracha, his hands have to be clean for the bracha. L'chayra doesn't have to make a difference over how much you eat. Okay.
Should we make the bracha?
No, because Alter Rebbe says not to. The question is, why? Why is it? L'chaim.
Why the Rashba said to do and the Alter Rebbe says no.
Yes. Exactly. And the Alter Rebbe, by the Ma'amar Chanoim, the Alter Rebbe does say both reasons. The Alter Rebbe says there's two reasons for Ma'amar Chanoim. The hand should be clean for the bracha, and also because of Melech Sdoimus. And why not? Why doesn't he bring it in the beginning? So we can perhaps say two reasons, two tirutzim. One teretz is by Ma'amar Chanoim we say there's two things. There's mitzvah and choivus. You have to say there's two reasons. By Ma'amar Rishonim you don't. There's not two reasons.
It's only mitzvah.
There's only mitzvah. So there's one reason. The Gemara says tirach truma. So that's it. There's only one reason. But still, it's a little cheap teretz to say a little while. You can answer like this. The difference of Ma'amar Rishonim and Ma'amar Chanoim is Ma'amar Rishonim is to say a bracha hamoitzi. Hamoitzi is the Rabbanan. The Mayim Achronim is in order to bench. Benching is
The right.
the Iraisa. The Torah says, so therefore, you could say that Mayim Achronim is more serious, because I'm going to now, the Eibishter said I have to bench. So over there is where it applies the reason that I have to wash my hands. Mayim Rishonim, the whole bracha is a Derabanan. To say now that Rabbanan said also my hands have to be clean.
If so my Machanim we should say we should make a bracha. Is the right? You're going to do the right. Of course you should make a bracha.
That's what the Alter Rebbe says. The reason we don't is because we don't have the Shem and Ori. The side. Those days after they did the Mayim Achronim, they used to take oil, a special type of oil, and they used to rub it on their hands. We don't have that oil. Okay. So that's l'chayre that you can answer.
We learned this before that once a person masagis shulchan and put the oil and he wants to eat again, you have to go and wash again.
In general, in Siman Daled, in the Alter Rebbe Shulchan Aruch, and we'll talk about it maybe tomorrow, or next week a little more. A person, whenever the person talks to the Eibishter, he has to wash his hands. Whenever a person talks to the Eibishter, before davening Shachar,
anytime. That's why when we build a shul, we make a sink.
Right.
You walked in, you have to wash your hands.
Now, there really is.
Every time you walk into a shul, you have to wash your hands. That's why there's a sink right in the beginning. Yep. Everybody.
That and the pasuk says Erchat benikoyin kapai v'asoyve v'mizbachach Hashem lahashmiya b'koil toida. Before I called out Hashem b'koil toida, I'm going to wash my hands. Okay.
You mean, but the Erev, what do you call it again? The oil, Shemin Erev.
Shem Norav is only for my Machanim. Only for my Machanim.
Yeah, that's before.
Right. Good. And according to this opinion, you have to make a brocha al nefil yadayim when you wash before shacharis or for mincha. Anytime when you wash your hands. What's on the halacha? The minig is that we don't make a brocha. We only make the brocha al nefil yadayim for the washing that we do
in the morning.
First time.
Because the Zohar makes a big deal out of it. The Zohar says that a Jew's hand have tumah. And now we're taking off the tumah, the washing. For that we make the bracha, but not when just every time we're gonna make a bracha to the Eibishter. Therefore, you understand the Alter Rebbe. That's why the Alter Rebbe, the Rashba maybe holds like the minig of the world, or the other opinion. But anyway, we paskin that before you say Hashem's name, you don't have to wash your hands. Or maybe you have to wash your hands, but you don't make a bracha until it's dying. So therefore, the Alter Rebbe doesn't bring this reason. The Alter Rebbe only brings the Rashba brings that before you eat, you have to wash for two reasons: serach teruma, and also your hands should be clean. The Alter Rebbe doesn't bring the cleanliness of the hands, because we see that the lapoil is that the minig of the world is that we wash before shacharis, we wash before mincha, we don't make a bracha. So we see that usually when we talk to Hashem, even though we wash our hands, but we don't make a bracha. We don't make a bracha.
And that's why my Machon is something.
So therefore, the Alter Rebbe doesn't bring this reason. Okay, let's learn the Gemara. We're holding now the last line of the small lines.
According to the Rashba, when you do make a bracha, what's not until it's today?
Yeah. Yeah.
That's interesting.
Yeah, all that's done. They say your hands have to be clean. You make a bracha, have to be clean. So why not until it's done? So according to the Rashba, even if you ate less than a kazayis, and less than a kavetz, I don't care, because there's a second reason. The Alter Rebbe doesn't bring the other reason. Here.
When we do on Pesach night, washing our hands because they do to go to the mashke, there's something to do with clean and with bracha with that.
No, over there we're going to learn tomorrow why we don't make a bracha. It's complicated. This is a machloikis, that's why.
Oh, this is not for cleanliness.
By tibul b'mashka?
Yeah.
No, it's not for cleanliness at all. No, that's a different reason. Maybe according to the Rashba, yeah. Yeah, it's a different minion.
And that's right today because people eat olives why people eat
Sure.
grapes, why people
Tomorrow
eat
we're going to
pickles,
learn
why-
very nigga,
Right, all
exactly.
these things people eat.
People eat pickles and people eat
With the hand. They take
all
a
kinds of
pickle
things,
and
right?
it's wet.
Right.
Olives,
All kinds of
grapes.
things, right? Yeah, Mitzvah Shem will cover that tomorrow. Okay. Talk the Gemara. I'm going back a few lines. We did it last week at the end. The fact that we don't do Mayim Achronim on the ground, because it's dirty and it's repugnant. It's not nice in a Jewish home. No, because there's a ruach ra on it. So therefore, you have to be particularly careful. Not just because if you say if it's cleanliness, or maybe sometimes if I'm going to walk away from here anyway, or it's just a hotel room. No, it's an Indian of ruach ra. I thought that the reason why you're not allowed to take some of the bread away from the person when he's in the middle of drinking his wine might be a because he might be angry because he wants to eat the bread, and if I'm taking away the bread, he's going to get upset. He's in the middle of drinking, he might choke. So therefore, you're not supposed to move anything in front of the person while he's in the middle of drinking the wine. I was told, no, it was a mistake. It's a problem because of some shadim. If you take away, there's something connected with a ruach tzroda, epilepsy or whatever ruach tzroda is. It's a shadim, connected with shadim. Okay.
It's interesting. I learned that the Sfardim, when they bench, they must have a piece of bread on the table and they put the hand.
Yeah, a little for the clippers. They leave something.
And they put the hand on the bread. They
Right.
go like this.
אכלת בשבת או
And they have to turn a little piece of bread.
Right? It's exactly what the Rabbi said. I'm shading from this.
Sag die Gemara, weil Amara nedel de law shokel el de shokel mahader. When do we say that the shadim can get a hold of the person? If you take away something while he's in the middle of drinking and it's sitting in front of him, if you take it, you don't put it back. Shokel mahader, no problem. If you put it back, no problem. If you're talking about you're taking it out of from within to out of the Arba Amas. If you Arba Amas, within the Arba Amas, it's less than, but it doesn't matter. Things that are connected to the Suda. Things that are not connected to the Suda doesn't matter. Ma Baravashi, Kopet Afila Asita, Ubuchn the Tavli. He was, even when it came to the pestle, the mortar, to crush the herbs. So, this is not like a spoon or a fork. It's not really so involved. They said these are things that are connected to the Suda, therefore they were mocked that people shouldn't touch it while they're eating. We shouldn't take it away from there.
You shouldn't touch it.
No, shouldn't take it away. Shouldn't take it away. Okay. So the Nafkamina, the Ben Yoda says that if, according to the old reason, that it has to do with the person's choking, so if it's not his food, so why would he choke? What would he get angry about? It's not his food. But if you say it's a shadim, that any time that makes no difference. The Ben Yehuda says that the shadim only existed in those days because the world was more of a coarse place. There was more of a ruach tum in the world, so there was shadim around. But Bisman Hazeh, after there was so many tzaddikim, they purified the world, so the shadim are not around anymore.
Isn't it the opposite that because in the early generations,
Yitzhak Gadol.
yeah, and so Umat said there was more kedusha there, then so there was more
tuma.
Also.
I hear. I have to look again. It sounded to me that what he's saying is that okay, I hear. I have to look again.
Somebody sent the shadim away.
Okay.
No, in the more it says someone.
I don't know.
Somebody sent away the shadim. It was like his time, and after this there's no more shadim.
Okay.
We hear stories from the Baal Shem Tov shadim. They took fight. And
Yeah. Okay, let's.
At the time of the first Mikdash, there was Avodah Zarah, but there was also Nevuah. In
Right.
the second Mikdash, there was no more Avodah Zarah, but there was also no more Nevuah.
It's true.
The Roma Zeh.
Yeah.
Right. I hear it's a good point. He's saying the same thing with the shadim. When they were big tzaddikim, they were also shadim. But now that
Didn't we learn in the Gemara that somebody holding a shade and took him to the river and he told him, not long ago, we learned
but the Didanotzach, the friendly shade.
Story, yeah.
At the end of the Gemara, we're going to learn also a story about a friendly shade.
So obviously there was a in the time of the Gemara the shade.
Usually the shade were not friendly.
Right, but I'm saying the time here's the time of the Gemara and there is shading.
Okay,
so
yeah, the shadetzach.
The
Time of the
shade
Gemara.
connected to Yetzer Hara? To the Satan?
Klippa.
Yeah,
Yeah, so all of them is
Klippa, yeah.
they're all cousins.
cousins.
They're not there to do good. They're evil.
Zog the Gemara, they're called mazikim. Zog the Gemara, let's continue. Amar bar Rav Ashi. Klapa the fila says no buchna the tav with zechel suda. Okay. Amar Abaye. Merei shavamina. I used to think hi de kanchi nishvoro. That we sweep up the floor. By the end of the meal, we sweep up the floor. The house should be clean. So I was told, no, because there's a problem that if you step on pieces of bread, it can bring upon a person poverty. The Gemara tells a story to bring out this point. There was a man that the malach that was in charge of poverty was trying very hard to get him. Rabbi Yochanan, he couldn't get him. He was very careful with little crumbs, never to step on a crumb. One day, he ate bread, or lifte, which is bread. The lifte is not bread.
Lafa.
Yeah. On the ground, he was sitting at a picnic. He was sitting in the grass and eating bread. Now, for sure, this guy's going to fall into my hands. He's going to walk away, and how's he going to pick up the little crumbs? For sure, I'm going to get hold of this guy. After this guy ate, he brought a shovel. He picked up the grass and the sand. Nada, threw it into the river. Shomei, so the man heard, Omar, he heard a voice that said, Vai, woe to me, the voice said. The Afke who gavri bebeise, that man kicked me out of my pants, he kicked me out of my house. So in other words, the sword of Danius tried so hard to get this guy. He wanted to get him, and he couldn't get him. He couldn't get him. Okay.
So who's saying it? Who's saying it? Kicked out of the house? The Sultan?
The Sultan was saying it, yeah. So, this is a very interesting. This is a very, very.
Only once I heard a Friday night when you finish eating with the leftover crumbs on the table, be careful.
The what?
On Friday night when you eat and you clean the table, be careful with the crumbs. Don't let it go on the floor. That's something.
It's every time.
Every time, but I remember this on Friday night.
Still today? Yeah.
My mother, Alea Shalom, when we were growing up in Israel, was no food too much. She said, whoever finish every crumb, gonna build up at the Mikdash. You know, if you have, whatever you have to finish till the end, because you don't have too much food.
No food.
You have to have a clean plate.
Yeah, clean it, you build up at the
They bring
Mikdash.
from the restaurant every night food.
Huh?
They didn't know that you're going to bring from the restaurant every night food.
Okay. Yeah.
That's such a concept, you know? And we
What is
were
it?
finishing that
The point is that if you step on the crumbs, then that's...
So we had a Toisvis in Daf Nun Beis, but Toisvis said
Numbers and brachas.
in Nun Beis and Brochus.
Yeah.
Toisvis says that it's forbidden. It's a vase of food, especially bread. The Gemara says,
Yes.
and so the Toisvis says that's if the pieces are as big as a kazais. But if it's less than a kazayas, you're allowed to throw it out. Yeah, if the pieces are less than a kazayas, you're allowed to throw it out. How?
Time's up, because it's by itself, each one.
That we'll get to in a second.
Yeah.
That we'll get to in a second.
Yeah.
Toisvis doesn't go into that.
Okay.
Toisvis says kazayas But pochas mekazayis, it's permissible to throw it out. But to step on it, careful.
It's a bizayon.
It's kosher la'anius. It's very it's a problem for anius.
Problem for what?
It's for poverty, to become poor.
Oh.
Chashon become poor. So, the Agos of the Marim Azulai on the Lavush, he says, some say that, yeah, the Tosha says if the crumbs are small like kazayas, but it's talking about there's a lot of crumbs. But if all the crumbs together are less than a kazayas, says,
So it's not.
that's nothing. But he himself argues, he says, no. Even if the crumbs are less than a kazayas, not allowed to step on
Are
them.
we home?
Not
Are you
exactly.
allowed to give the
How do we
crumbs to the
know?
bird? It's mitzvah.
No, it's a mitzvah. I don't know if it's a
Feeding
mitzvah.
them.
Oh, so, if it's a mitzvah, but it's for sure better than wasting it, and certainly better than
Step on it.
However, there are people that throw it in the street, where people inevitably are going to step on it. So the birds are going to enjoy a good meal, but the person who's throwing the bread
It's going to be poor.
is going to be poor. So
Well,
the birds will be happy.
But he's going to be
Well,
poor.
if it's
How about if I'm in a car
I'll
and
be
the
on
car
reserve.
drives over?
You don't
Does
you
that
don't throw
count?
it in the street where people will step on it. You throw it in the yard.
Okay, good. But I'm saying there are people that don't care. They throw it in the street where people would step on it.
Yeah, you see a lot of time bread in
You
the
get
street.
tickets too.
When I have bread left over from Shabbos, whatever, we put it in the backyard in the school, eating it.
Oh, the squirrels are good. But people leave it in the street
No,
sometimes.
in the backyard.
Yeah.
So I have to step
Can't
on
make
it
it
with my
empty.
shoe.
Yeah.
They're eating
Gotta
it.
If I
step
run
on it.
over with a bike or anything,
Nah,
that doesn't
I don't
count.
think so. I don't know. That's a good question.
Car.
I don't know if it counts. It seems like the main hakpod is not the person that steps on it. The main hakpod is the person that throws it there. Not the issue is not
It's
the person.
the food.
The person that throws it there. That's what it sounds like. Because that's what it sounds like in the Gemara. This guy, if he's walking, he's walking. But that's not what sounds in the Gemara. Because the Gemara says that this guy ate and he was going to leave. So after he was going to leave, the Sar of Anius was upset because he threw the crumbs into the river. In other words, if he'd left the crumbs there, the Sar of Anius would be happy.
He would be
But he left. And so we see from this that
the guy that eat it.
that I don't care that the person, it's not the person who steps on it. It's the person that puts it there and leaves it there in a place where people might step on it.
By nails is the person who step on it, not
Yeah.
the person that do it.
Right.
By bread is the person that eat
The
it.
person that throws it there, that leaves it there. What are we talking about? Rashi doesn't say specifically we're talking about any food or pas. Mashma, it's any food. But the Rashbam and the Gemara Pesachim, the Kuf Yudalev says pas. And that's what the Alter Rebbe paskins. The Alter Rebbe paskins and Shulchan Aruch and Simon Kuf Pei that we're talking about pas. So the Alter Rebbe says befedish. Here it's Simon Kuf Pei, Yisif Hei. Afal Pisha Muter La'abed Piyururim Shemem Kazayis. Lo Yizerkim B'mokim Drisas Ragel B'nei Adam. Don't put them in a place or throw them in a place where people step. It's a problem for aniyas. On what? Al pirurei lechem. It sounds from the Alter Rebbe, it's only bread. If it's less than kazayis, you're allowed to throw it out. You can allowed to throw it in the river.
What pirurei? Pirurei is very small.
Less than a
Less than the
kazayis.
kazayis. Yeah.
This cookie is less than a kazayis. You see those cookies there?
Right there.
That cookie is probably less than a kazayis. I don't know, much less? I wouldn't say much less, but those cookies I would say is less than a kazayis.
Give me a cookie.
Yeah.
Less than the kazayis. Make me zone.
Thank you. Yeah.
I think that's just on the border. Depends. It's
You have to take out this.
No, I mean, it's not like cake that has a lot of
Right.
air.
You're right. It doesn't have ear, so there's no give on that.
So if
But
you just break it in half and put the two halves together,
There's no frosting now.
that would be
Okay.
on the borderline.
okay, so fine. So then,
You have to make me zone to them.
so that as I say like less. There's questions about alamichio. But I'm just trying to give a thing. So if the pirurim are less than a kazayis, you're allowed to throw it out. It's inevitable in the house if you have chal on the table that they're little pieces.
You're always going to have.
You're always going to have. So you're allowed to throw it in the garbage. It's not the problem. The problem is if you throw it on the floor or leave it in a place that people will step on it, that's kosher lanius. It's interesting that several places in Shas, the Gemara talks about the Sadal lanius. One of the places in the Gemara Shabbos of Samach Beis, the Gemara says that novel shemei. Rashi explains. The Gemara says over there that another segula for poverty is a person that amashtim bifnei mitosi oren. He stands naked in his bedroom and he urinates there. So the Gemara explains. So the Mefarshim explain. Those days people didn't have bathrooms, right, with flushing. So they had it outside. So this guy is the middle of the night. So he's not fully dressed, or he's not. He's lazy to put on a coat and a sweater and shoes, go out. So he urinates in his bedroom. So if he urinates in the bedroom, it spritzes here and there and everywhere. So it's disgusting. And this angel loves mius, loves places that are repugnant, that are disgusting. And this person's making his bedroom disgusting. So therefore, this angel loves it. So we see that. What's the connection between a person who throws crumbs of bread? This is disgusting, and this is, I mean, so exactly. That's like it's a disrespect. Bread is a very important thing. Bread is a person lives on bread. Especially if you talk about a Jew. So a Jew knows that it's not just that he lives. There's a spiritual life. There's godly sparks in the food. And when the person eats it l'shem shemayim, it's elevated, and it becomes holy. It becomes godly. So why is it that a person would throw it away? Because it's not important to him. But it is important. It's very important because it has godly sparks. What makes a person rich? When he does Davik Eibishter, he's full of life. So when the Sar of Aniyu sees that this person disrespects the bread, that's the main food, lechem levada yechiyodam. Kol moitze pi Hashem, that there's the chayes, there's the godly spark that's in the bread. He disrespects it. So he's involved now with the klipa. So the klipa gets hold of him. And klipa, by definition, is poor. So therefore, that's what happens to such a person. Rahman al-Islam becomes poor. So therefore, a person has to be very, very important. It's very important to be careful, not chas v'sholom, because you didn't have to be rich.
Are you allowed to wet the bread?
Person eats it?
No.
No.
Sometimes you have extra bread that you don't eat. You wet it, you throw it outside for the
birds. No, you make it good for the birds.
No, but you're allowed to wet it. It's not make it ma'uz or something.
Not when it's on the Gemara says to be careful that you don't. He thought that you're not allowed to put the water on the floor because it's going to fall on the bread and make the bread mousse. But if you take clean water and put it on bread, some people like to dip their Dunkin' Donuts, we were talking about the other day. So you're allowed to dunk the donuts. You might have to wash your hands before you dunk the donuts. But that's a separate issue. We'll talk about that tomorrow. That's a separate issue.
Once you touch the donut, the oil already in your hand.
You don't see it.
You're clean. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
It's the water boil.
What does it mean by kosher when you say it's hard?
It's kosher means it's difficult because it'll bring a person to anius. It's a bad thing because it'll bring a person to anius.
Okay, difficult.
Right. So what do we see from this Gemara? We see that the Gemara is very concerned that Jews should be rich. That's what we see. That's what we see from this Gemara.
I have a question, Rabbi. I heard in the radio, it's not for our sugya here, that I think in Yerushalmi, a Jew met Arab, and the Arab told him, I'm very sad for you. He said, why? He said, because this moment, your Bet HaMikdash was Nechab. I think Sancheriv and Netzah. A minute later, he was happy. So tell him, why are you happy? Because your Mashiach just born now.
Right.
I don't know if you know this.
That's why we say Nachem and
right, and he asked him what's his name. He asked him what's his name. He said Menachem. So he said where he lives. So he gave him the address. This Arab guy, I don't know how the Arab. He gave him the address, and this guy, Jewish guy, selling clothing or Pampers, I don't know. So he went there to this town, and he said, I'm selling, and all the women came, and he asked, where is Menachem's mother? She's standing right here, but she doesn't have money to come to buy. So he came to her, he said, I give you everything for free, but I want you, and another 2-3 months, I come back and you give me the money that you owe me. So he came 2 months later, he went to the house there and asked her, where's Menachem? She said, I was outside with him, the wind came and gave a big blow, and he disappeared for me. Did you read this Gemara? It's in Yerushalmi. It's mind-boggling.
This reason is brought in Shulchan Aruch. We say Nachem on Tisha B'Av because that's when Mashiach was born, and he's going to be Menachem. He's going to comfort us.
Probably it was Tisha B'Av at that time, if I remember, if I recall, when he said the story. So the Mashiach has to be like 2,000 or 3,000 years old. If he born there.
Okay, David says will helfen. The Gemara wants every Yid to be rich. The Rebbe said they had a big koch in this.
Actually, midot and maasim tovim, that's the most important.
When the Yid has...
Yeah, but not the whole thing in life.
Amen v'amen.
Amen.
Right.
Every Yid that's looking for a good job should find a good job, and every Yid that needs a good parnasa should have a good parnasa.
Amen.